and welcome to HANSA.newscast. I'm Janne Silden, and today I'm joined by Sven Brooks, CEO of ScanReach. Welcome, Sven.
Hi there. Welcome, Janne. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to this because, Sven, you're often described as an Internet of Things, IoT evangelist. Do you agree with that term?
Well, it's an odd term, but IoT still needs a bit of a push in the maritime industry, and I'm happy along with others to give it that push. So yeah, evangelist might work. I'm always fascinated how IoT made an impact on our day-to-day lives at home and how it made an impact in other industries, and why shouldn't it make a massive impact in shipping as well?
Yeah. What do you know about IoT?
Well, it requires wireless connectivity. That's
Yes.
something that and if you see what impact it made just at home, a decade ago, we're living, I wouldn't say an analog life, but our digital lives were limited to mobile phones and computers. And now we can control our Hoovers, our lighting systems, our loudspeakers, our security cameras over our mobile phones, which we also use for banking and other applications. So it's all interconnected these days. And that interconnection, bringing data together from different sources and making that data available to a multitude of users locally and internationally, that's the essence of the Internet of Things,
Yeah.
or Industry 4.0, as some countries call it.
Yeah, so why is wireless on board connectivity so difficult?
Because Wi-Fi doesn't really work that great in most parts of the ship. Now, a ship is still today mostly made out of steel. And the moment you move below deck, you do get a lot of reflections, interferences when using Wi Fi. So you can, of course, create Wi Fi networks across an entire ship, which will require a multitude of routers and a lot of management around it. And it works probably best in crew quarters above deck. But the moment you move below deck, you really see some challenges. And that was kind of one of the starting points of ScanReach to address that challenge.
So you saw an untapped opportunity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has started with our founder who looked at crew safety. He was sailing on board of a fishing boat, and that's a treacherous, really dangerous job. I don't know. There's some there's some channels, of course, here in Germany, but they show all these scary shows where people try to catch something in the middle of the ocean, and you can easily go overboard. It's a really dangerous job. But on and on this boat, you have several crew members, and you need to account for them at any point in time. And that was noticed as being a key challenge. So he sat down and to devise a system that allows shipping companies to monitor where crew members actually are and how many there are at any given point in time.
Yeah, so what is ScanReach platform?
So our platform, in its most basic terms, when we roll out a system, it's an edge server which provides cloud services and connectivity to other third-party devices. So we offer, APIs as well, so we can connect to other software platforms. So that's the core. And then we have any number of mesh nodes that we put on board of the vessel to collect data or create a mesh network to move data around the ship and off the vessel if it's required. And then you can add any type of sensor that you need to it, but it's fundamentally always that, a number of mesh nodes and an edge server. And we run on Microsoft Azure, a very safe and flexible system where we're collecting the data and then making it available. We have some dashboards on our own, some generic ones, but we don't analyze the data. We really leave that up to other third parties, giving probably for the first time ever in the industry, the shipping companies the choice to pick the software platform that they like independently from the data acquisition platform. Say, I view digitalization in the industry almost as if we're moving through generations. And the first generation of digitization, that was all about, let's say, the big corporates making a move into digitalization, saying we have all these systems out there. We hear that shipping companies would like to access the information and we make it available to them, but exclusively available to them. And should there be other services required, that would have to be procured through that specific vendor. So shipping companies were really in this vendor lock. They started to get access to bridge information, navigational data, access to engine data at a price, but always linked to that vendor. And now we're approaching a new generation where application and infrastructure can be viewed independently from one another. So I can collect the data as a shipping company from my vessels, and then I can decide who's the best software provider, who's the best data analyst that can work with this information, whether that's in vessel performance, whether that's in maintenance, vibration monitoring, preventative maintenance, and so on. But these things are now, I wouldn't say disconnected, but can be viewed independently from another. And that's a major step because it also, at the end of the day, eases the budget of the shipping company.
Yeah. So in regards to your platform, is it retrofits or new builds? What's the fastest and cost efficient? Is it easy to implement it on a fleet that might be a bit older?
Well, I'd like to say both, but let me elaborate a little bit on this. So we have a surprisingly, when we started on this journey, we always viewed it as a primarily retrofit solution because it's so easy to install. Our systems can be installed by the crew. When you take one of our mesh nodes, it has a power plug and one button and a light, and that's it. So anybody, even without training, can install our system, and we can monitor it remotely and can literally see how it goes live remotely. So that's the easy part. And it can be installed literally within hours, not within days or weeks. You don't have to schedule technicians to get the job done. On the other hand, on the new build side, and this is quite interesting, starting to talk to some of our strategic partners, some of the shipyards, they see it as a benefit, of course, as well, because running signal wiring at shipyards is a very costly affair. So there's an opportunity to bring down the signal cost and the time of installation, and that's appreciated by anyone. But that's still an ongoing journey for us to really understand how the reduction of signal cabling could perhaps even one day, not today, perhaps not tomorrow, but one day even affect vessel design.
That's really interesting. So it's just not about the vessels, it's really about the shipyard too. I didn't see that one. So what kind of vessel have you been installing on until now? Is like offshore, military?
So no military applications thus far. We did work with Coast Guards, but there's something about wireless connectivity that it operates in an electromagnetic spectrum. So there are limitations to where it can be applied in a naval context, although there are use cases that are of interest and that are currently being discussed. That's all I can say, unfortunately. But when it comes to vessel types, our strongest market is the wind market, offshore wind, where it's almost an essential requirement as you have walk to work gangways and you have people coming and leaving the vessel on an ongoing basis. In that market, that really needs to be monitored. You can find us on accommodation vessels for PUB, so for crew monitoring. You can find us on bulkers, on tankers for fuel monitoring. You can find us even on livestock vessels, on some of the oldest vessels in the fleet, on one hand. And then on the most modern vessels in the world, like the Purest Chinook that was shown off to the industry the other day in London at an event, with the most recent and most modern DNV cybersecurity and regulations that are being met on this vessel. So we're kind of covering the extremes of the industry, and to a certain extent, anything in between.
Yeah. So, Sven, you are working at the intersection of Germany and Norway, or Scandinavia, and there is a common perception that Germany is lagging in digitalization, while Norway is seen as an early adopter of new technology. Is that true?
Not as a general statement. I mean, if we're looking at innovation in the German maritime industry, I urge you to take a trip to Berlin, because that's the new hype. And kind regards to Kaiko Systems and anybody out there. I think they're doing a phenomenal job, and the German industry in large is doing a decent job in promoting itself. On the other hand, coming in as a kind of startup scale up in Norway, I can see how much the Norwegian government is supporting smaller companies, and we get a lot of financial support. We get a lot of support in terms of research and development as well. And I'd like to highlight the specific role of Innovation Norway, which is a very interesting organization working basically hand in hand with, I mean, you will know more about this, Janne, hand in hand with the Norwegian foreign ministry. And they're really reaching out globally, allowing Norwegian companies to have a face and an opportunity to talk to other senior players that are very remote. When you're a small startup, scale up in Norway, and you want to get to know a key player in Japan, well, an organization like Innovation Norway makes that happen. I'm sure that something similar exists in a German context, but I haven't experienced that personally. But it's delightful and amazing to see how that works in Norway.
Yeah. Well, Sven, I really appreciate your insights also regarding to Norway and Germany. And maybe I think we can fairly say that you had a kind of, how to say it in English, an appeal to the German government to support startups a bit more. Thank you for attending this episode, this podcast.
Hey, it's thanks again. It's I love to share those insights and some thought-provoking matters with you.
Thanks for listening to HANSA.newscast. Subscribe now for more insights and stories from the world of shipping. And feel free to visit HANSA.news and sign up for the HANSA newsletter to stay up to date. And hey, see you at the next episode. Bye.